All right, so let's unpack this question about the disconnect between physical appearance and energy alignment in relationships.
Okay.
It's a really fascinating topic, especially when the societal challenges that masculine-looking men who feel feminine face.
Right.
And you want to know how Wilhelm Reich's concept of character armor and Osho's teachings on masculine and feminine energy can help us understand this, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you've provided us with some really rich material to work with here.
Yeah.
We've got excerpts from articles on Tantra, a fascinating forum discussion on cross-dressing psychology, and some background on Wilhelm Reich himself.
Right.
So this deep dive is all about breaking the illusion that physical appearance defines one's energy.
Yeah.
We're going to explore how these concepts might help explain this disconnect you're feeling,
Okay.
especially in the context of relationships.
I think, it seems like society often jumps to conclusions based solely on how someone looks.
Right. Like, there's this automatic assumption that physical traits equal masculinity or femininity, which leads to all these rigid roles and expectations. You're absolutely right. And those expectations can create a sense of inauthenticity, especially for those who don't neatly fit into those boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Take the forum discussion from Crossdresser Heaven, for example.
Yeah.
Some users shared feeling most authentically themselves when cross-dressing, while others talked about the thrill of presenting as female in public.
Yeah.
It's a glimpse into how deeply societal pressures can affect self-expression.
It's almost like they're breaking free from those expectations, even if it's just for a little while.
Exactly.
Which brings us to Wilhelm Reich
Yeah.
and his concept of character armor. This feels like a key piece of the puzzle.
For sure.
So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so Reich believed that we develop this armor, both physical and emotional rigidity,
Okay.
as a way to protect ourselves from pain and vulnerability.
I see.
It's like building walls to shield ourselves.
But wouldn't that also block out the positive emotions and connections?
That's the catch.
Yeah.
While it might offer some protection, it also masks our true feelings, leading to a disconnect between how we feel inside and how we present ourselves to the world.
Right.
For instance, someone might appear confident and masculine on the outside, but struggle with a deep well of unexpressed feminine energy within.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So Reich's own life seems to be a testament to that, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
His childhood experiences, like his mother's death and his complex relationship with his father, likely contributed to his own armor.
For sure, his biography shows how deeply personal experiences shape these defense mechanisms. And his later work on vegetotherapy, which involved physical touch and emotional release, was all about breaking down that armor
Oh, wow.
to restore a natural flow of energy.
So it was about peeling back those layers to allow genuine self-expression to emerge.
Precisely. Now, if we bring Osho's teachings into the mix, we gain an even deeper understanding of this dynamic interplay between the masculine and the feminine.
Okay. Yeah, fill me in on that.
Yeah.
Osho's perspective seems to offer a more fluid understanding of energy.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear more about this.
So Osho believed that masculine and feminine energies exist within every individual, regardless of gender identity or physical appearance. He saw them as two sides of the same coin, both essential for wholeness.
Okay.
This idea is also central to Tantra, which views the union of Shiva, representing the masculine, and Shakti, representing the feminine, as a symbol of complete unity.
That's a really interesting perspective. So it's not about being one or the other, but about embracing the unique blend within each of us.
Exactly. And this changes how we think about attraction.
Okay.
Osho believed it wasn't solely based on physical attributes, but on a deeper energetic resonance.
I see.
So you might be drawn to someone who doesn't necessarily fit traditional expectations because there's a deeper energetic connection. This must be particularly challenging for masculine-looking men who identify with feminine energy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, society already puts so much pressure on them to conform to certain expectations of masculinity.
It's like being trapped in a role that doesn't fit.
Exactly. And this is where understanding these concepts of character armor and energy can be truly liberating.
So how can someone begin to break free from these expectations and express themselves authentically?
Well, it starts with self-awareness,
Okay.
becoming aware of those internalized societal judgments that are shaping your behavior.
Okay.
Asking yourself, what messages have I absorbed about what it means to be masculine or feminine? And how are those messages influencing how I express myself?
So it's about taking inventory of those ingrained beliefs.
Right.
and questioning whether they truly resonate with who you are.
Precisely. And as you start to unpack those beliefs, you can begin to challenge them. This is where Osho's teachings become particularly relevant.
Yeah, because he encourages us to embrace the fluidity of energy within us.
Exactly.
Oh,
It's not about denying your masculinity if you identify with feminine energy.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that both energies coexist within you
Uh-huh.
and finding a balance that feels authentic.
Okay.
It's like learning to dance between those two poles, allowing yourself to move freely and express both aspects of your being.
That sounds incredibly freeing.
Yeah.
But how does this translate into finding fulfilling relationships?
Right.
Especially when society seems to dictate very specific ideas of what's considered attractive.
That's where it becomes crucial to look beyond those superficial ideas of attraction.
Okay.
If, as Osho suggests, we're drawn to others based on energetic resonance, then finding a partner who aligns with your true energy, regardless of physical appearances, becomes key.
So it's less about checking off boxes based on societal norms.
Right.
And more about finding someone who sees and appreciates the authentic you.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that kind of connection goes so much deeper than surface-level attraction. It's about finding someone who resonates with your energy, your values, your essence.
That makes so much sense. But I imagine this can be particularly challenging for masculine-looking men who feel feminine. They might feel pressure to conform to those societal expectations, even if those expectations don't reflect who they are on the inside.
Absolutely. And that's why understanding these concepts,
Yeah.
character armor, energetic alignment, and the interplay of masculine and feminine energies can be so empowering.
Because it gives them a framework for understanding their experience and navigating those challenges.
Exactly. It allows them to break free from those limiting beliefs and societal expectations and start living more authentically.
It's like permission to shed that armor and embrace who they truly are.
Exactly. And as they shed that armor and embrace their true selves, they'll naturally attract people who appreciate and resonate with that authenticity.
The Crossdresser Heaven Forum really highlighted this longing for authenticity, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
Some of the users talked about how they felt most themselves when cross-dressing.
It's a powerful example of how seeking those outlets for self-expression can be a stepping stone to understanding and embracing one's authentic energy.
It also speaks to how limiting those societal expectations can be.
You're listening to Echoes of Insight, where we dive deep into the topics shaping our world, from the planet and politics to health, consciousness, economy, and alternative lifestyles. If you're enjoying the journey, make sure to subscribe and share this podcast with others who love exploring new perspectives.
You're right. These expectations create these invisible boundaries.
Yeah.
And when people push against them, even in private, it can feel like a form of rebellion.
But it's a rebellion rooted in a desire to live authentically,
Yes,
to bridge that gap between their inner world and outer presentation.
exactly. And that's a journey worth undertaking.
Speaking of journeys, one of the sources mentioned Tantra and its focus on the union of masculine and feminine energies. What insights can Tantra offer on this topic?
Well, Tantra provides a beautiful framework for understanding the interplay of these energies
Okay.
within ourselves and in our relationships.
Yeah.
It emphasizes their interconnectedness, seeing them not as opposites but as complementary forces
Okay.
that, when in harmony, create wholeness.
So rather than trying to suppress or deny one energy over the other, Tantra encourages us to find a balance between them.
Precisely. And through practices like breathwork, eye-gazing, and mindful touch.
Yeah.
Tantra invites us to explore these energies within ourselves and connect with them on a deeper level.
It sounds like learning to speak the language of energy.
You could say that. And when you can communicate on that level, it opens the door to a deeper level of intimacy and connection, both with yourself and with others.
This feels especially relevant for those who might be struggling with that disconnect between their physical appearance and their internal energy.
Absolutely. Tantra provides tools and practices that can help bridge that gap, allowing them to experience a greater sense of wholeness and authenticity.
So for those masculine-looking men who feel feminine, it's about embracing that duality within themselves,
Right.
understanding that their physical appearance doesn't define their energy,
Yeah.
and finding a path to express their authentic selves, whether that's through exploring Tantra or seeking out partners who appreciate their true essence.
Beautifully put. And it's important to remember that this journey of self-discovery and authentic expression isn't limited to any one group. It's a journey we're all on in some way.
You're absolutely right. We all have that unique blend of masculine and feminine energy within us.
And finding ways to honor and express the unique blend is essential to living a fulfilling life and creating authentic connections with others.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful. It's really challenged me to rethink my own assumptions about appearance, energy, and attraction. What stands out to you as the most important takeaway?
Yeah.
It really is about taking back that power and defining for ourselves what feels authentic.
Right.
Not letting those societal norms dictate who we are or how we should express ourselves.
And it's important to remember that this isn't about striving for some perfect balance between masculine and feminine.
Right.
It's about honoring the unique blend that exists within each of us.
Okay.
Sometimes that might lean more towards one energy than the other, and that's perfectly okay.
It's about embracing the fluidity of those energies rather than trying to fit ourselves into rigid categories.
For sure.
Which I imagine can be quite a liberating experience.
It absolutely can be.
Yeah.
It's about shedding those layers of armor, those masks we wear to protect ourselves and allowing our true selves to shine through.
We talked about how this can be especially challenging for masculine-looking men who feel feminine.
Right.
They might face a lot of internal conflict and external pressure to conform.
Yeah.
What advice would you offer them on navigating this?
I would say, first and foremost, be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
This is a journey, not a destination.
Right.
It takes time to unpack those internalized beliefs and learn to express yourself authentically.
So having patience and self-compassion is crucial.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to seek out support.
Okay.
There are communities, both online and offline, where you can connect with others who are going through similar experiences.
Sharing experiences and feeling understood can be incredibly validating.
For sure.
What about when it comes to finding relationships?
Right.
What advice would you give someone who's trying to find a partner who sees and appreciates their true self?
I would say, trust your intuition.
Yeah.
Pay attention to how you feel around someone. Do you feel seen?
Okay.
Do you feel safe to be yourself?
No.
Do you feel a sense of energetic alignment? Those are all important indicators.
So it's not just about what looks good on paper
Right.
or who fits a certain image.
Yeah.
It's about that deeper sense of connection.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to be upfront about who you are and what you're looking for.
Okay.
The right person will appreciate your honesty and authenticity. Remember, you deserve to be with someone who loves and accepts you for exactly who you are.
That's such an important reminder.
Yeah.
We often get caught up in what we think we should be looking for,
Right.
but we forget to tune in to what truly feels right.
It's easy to fall into that trap.
Yeah.
But when we can quiet the noise of those societal expectations and really listen to our inner voice, that's when we can create relationships that are truly fulfilling.
This deep dive has been incredibly enlightening.
Yeah, it has.
It's really challenged me to think about how these concepts of character armor, energy alignment, and the interplay of masculine and feminine play out in my own life and relationships. What about you? What stands out to you as the most significant takeaway from this conversation?
I think what resonates most with me is the reminder that we're all multifaceted beings.
Okay.
We all have that unique blend of masculine and feminine energy within us.
Yeah.
And finding ways to honor and express that blend is essential to living a fulfilling life.
That's a beautiful takeaway.
Yeah.
It's about celebrating our individuality and recognizing that true connection stems from embracing our authentic selves.
Exactly. And when we can do that, we create space for others to do the same.
Right.
We start to break down those rigid societal expectations and open ourselves up to a world of possibilities.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
Any final thoughts you'd like to leave our listener with?
I would just encourage you to keep exploring these concepts.
Okay.
Read more about Reich and Osho. Dive into Tantra.
Yeah.
Experiment with different ways of expressing your unique energy. And most importantly, be patient and compassionate with yourself along the way.
That's great advice.
Thanks.
This has been a truly insightful conversation.
Yeah, it has.
Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today.
It's been my pleasure.
And to you, our listener, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into breaking the illusion of physicality.
Yes.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights and feel empowered to embrace your authentic self, no matter what that looks like. Until next time, keep exploring and keep shining.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Echoes of Insight. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and share it with someone who loves exploring big ideas. Together, let's keep the conversation going. See you next time.